Morning, chat. Morning. Sorry, just catching up here. A little bit running behind this morning. But we're there or thereabouts. Hopefully, all of you got the weekly newsletter, so you should have been prepared for what we've had overnight. And it's starting to play out. A bit of a churn and burn, as expected. As ever on the daily, what we're looking at. Well, here's last week's levels, all right? That's all you need to worry about right now is you pinned in, all right? No breakout above any previous weekly levels. Where's my drawing? There's your weekly low. There's your weekly high. All-time highs up here. So far rejecting on NQ. All right, but actually Friday's close was pretty important because we held this previous level. These 500s, 20-day, 5-day. You can see, all right, if that's your mean, there's your extension. Here's your chop and slop. All right, there's your extension. This didn't quite make it there or thereabouts. And what I would say is this right here on the spiders, all right, on the spiders, did indeed make it to the top bowl. Coming back down to the 20-day, closing back inside. All right, so we're in mean reversion territory right now. All depends if that weakness comes this week or not. So far, I would say we're still holding some structure here. And if we can sustain bids over these 800s, then really we're likely to take out these highs. It's as simple as that. We talked about it in the newsletter. So far, reclaiming 7s, gets through 8s, then we're probably going to try and attempt these highs up here. Any failure back under 500, then I'm looking for weakness to rotate and take out these weak lows at 23,000 and then 800s or 775s. All right, so that's what we're looking at on the daily. Let's have a look on the hourly. If we can see a bit more granular detail. All right, here you can see very clearly here on the hourly what happened last week. Here's your flush down, early week, walk back up, walk back up, walk back up, squeeze, flush down, RBS, which held. That's key right now. We're in an uptrend, all right? And this right here is key. All the time we're holding 500s, higher time frame, are in control. Back underneath 500, with some form of failure, then I think we take out 23,000. So that's what I'm looking at. This is a squeeze. This is failure. All right. Hardest thing is going to be, if we're going to look for longs, is finding a way to get involved. Given the strength of the reaction up here, we should probably just mark that out a bit tighter. That's your NFP high that we're looking at today. All right. VIX. Let's just move into lower time frame. Thank you, darling. All right, quick look at the VIX and the ES. We've had relative strength in the ES. All right, VIX trading back down towards these lows, but finding a bid. If it can hold above these 1530s, it's got a shot. All right, if VIX can hold above here, it's got a shot for rotation. Any failure down to here, market goes very, very bullish. ES, let's just have a look. Yeah, doing the same move as NQ right now. Reclaiming this level. Starting to grind back up. Remember, this is all-time high. It's a very different chart, relative strength. But what can you be aware of here? Well, I would be looking at these 61s and golden zone, which, funnily enough, we're coming right into. Surprise, surprise. So if sellers are going to step in here in ES, right, you'd want to see, very similar to NQ, some kind of push and fail and get stuck and rotate under here and back down to here. And if they stay weak under here, these lows and these lows this week, and if they find bids here, then new highs. Data coming this week as well, folks. There is data on the way. All right, let's have a look at the mag. See how we're opening up this week. Apple, remember Apple's got its big event tomorrow. So finding a bit of a bid pre-market, gapping up off the Friday sell. Here's the Friday sell. There's your close. There's your low. There's the gap up. All right, gapping up. Might well get a bit of a pump before the event tomorrow. We will see. Sorry, that's not even the right one. That's Amazon. Jeez, Monday morning. Apple's still gapping up though. Same event. All right. Amazon, same thing. So far we've got 2 for 2. Gapping up. Goog. Gapping up. All right, trying to hold new highs here on the Goog. There's your close, gapping up and holding. Meta. gapping up, trying to take out Friday's highs. So there's a big drive down from Meta, reclaim. If it holds this gap, it's going for new highs. Microsoft, that's ugly. All right, that's a much, much more ugly chart. All right, took out this top range, failed breakout of this range, slammed down, retesting this range right now. All right, that 500 under over key. Let's just move out a bit. Yeah, massive, massive level, 500 under over. If it starts rejecting that and stays heavy under 98s, new lows incoming. Nvidia, same story. We talked about this last week. All right, let's just zoom out of this. This was on Friday. We talked about the importance of this range here. It's now built out bearish structure under the range, and it is in a sell. Did we take out this level? We did on Friday. So where would I be looking next? Down here. 62s, and then this block here, which is probably where it will stop. All right, so big pullback. It's possible. If it fails to reclaim 72s, it's going to keep in this drift lower until we get into these 50s, and then it should find some form of bid, assuming we're not in huge macro sell news environment. And the last one, Tesla, looks great. Great chart, that. All right. Big drive last week, gapping up and holding. Looks pretty strong. So if it can find bids over 55s, we keep going for higher. It's got a lot of ground to make up still. So over 55s, you're looking for 68s, and then into this top supply up here that we created the back end of last year. Everything else looking very solid. We're looking solid here. So I just want to be cautious today, given the levels. Let's just zoom this out so you can see all this. I will be testing the Trend Friend this week on NinjaTrader. I got first version back for it, so we'll give it a go on NinjaTrader this week and see how we get on. So far looking good. All right, let me have a sip of my coffee, remind myself what's incoming here. We do have news on the way this morning. 11 o'clock, New York Fed inflation expectations. That would be the key one. That will be the key one. Okay. Sorry, folks, just marking this out on Ninja because I haven't had a chance to do that yet. $695s, 48s. All right, we are set. All right, so what we're looking for today, very simple. Either this retracement here is a 1, 2 with some form of push and fail. If we start failing under value, we drift. If we hold any of these values, we might get boxed in here. All right, we might get boxed in here. If we go on a straight pump, we're quite simply looking to take out this level here, which was the NFP candle high. If we start letting go today, 500 is the target. If we get stuck under 500 the next few sessions, we're going to try and trade down towards 23,000 if we take that out all the way down to here. So right now we're sort of boxed in. We're just playing rotation, waiting for the market to make its decision. But overall, we've been bullish. There's no doubt about it. Even that reaction on Friday to bid up off 500 was impressive. I would like to see them retest that low or retest around that low from Friday to know that bulls are turning up on are in control. If they don't retest that low, it's going to be very hard to get bullish. Let's see who's in here today. Good morning, Muhan, Toby, Trader, Don, Coop, InfoRisk, Jesse, Miguel, Bill Burke, ERF, Peter, Ken, Aaron, Jeff, Chris, Leron, Marek, Raphael, Troy, Alpha, Firewater, Mike, Aga, JD, NRS, Brandon, Saint, Jim K, Contorted, Dean, John W, good to see you back, Silem, Gatney, Charles, DJ Noah, Ejecto, Catalyst, and Paul. Good morning, everybody. Hope you all had a good weekend. I spent my weekend at Oasis at the Rose Bowl. It was incredible. One of the best times of my life, I must say. Absolutely incredible to see them live. Big major tick moment in my life done. Never got to see them as a kid, so I was too young to go to Nebworth, and then spent most of my teenage and 20 years sulking that I hadn't seen them, so that was good. Absolutely incredible show. Incredible show. Let's make sure I've got all these opened up. There we go. Let's have a quick look at the books. One thing I guess we haven't done this morning. Lots of liquidity higher. 800, 820, 830. Lots of liquidity higher. Let's have a look on the ES. Same kind of thing. 610, 615, 625. So at the moment, resting liquidity sat higher. Let me get these charts over here looking good. Where's that all-time high on ES? Okay. Holding some low volume nodes overnight on ES. Let me just measure this out on here from Sunday's open. Yeah, just blocked in. That's the edge down here. 50s. 35-point range. That's it for value overnight. Nice and patient in the morning, folks. Monday morning, be patient. Be patient, please. Remember, Apple News event coming tomorrow. Let's see if they drive this market up into that or not. So I'm just catching up with like all the news, which I might have missed here this morning. Just double checking here. Yeah, not a whole lot going on today, folks. Not a whole lot, other than those Fed inflation expectations. And even that, it's not big news. Not big news. Those job numbers on Friday were terrible. The revised ones were terrible, which is why we had that freak out. Trump expected to speak at 10, really. Well, we all know what will happen then. A little wiggle around 10 o'clock then on that 4-hour candle. T says, saw them last week. Incredible show. They sound the same. Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. Morning, Bella. Morning, Clint. Morning, Jackek. Yeah, it was so good, honestly. Best concert I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot. That was incredible. Bit of a raspy voice today, probably because of that. I spent 2 hours screaming my lungs out in the sunshine. It was so good. All right. So just trading inside Globex right now. Trading inside Friday session and trading inside of previous week. So patience will be key here this morning, folks. It will absolutely be key. Market opening up in 20 seconds. And get cues ready here. Thought I redrew all these out. Obviously didn't save it, which is a shame. Okay, here we go. Market open. Nice little push up to start, clearing out Globex. Let's see if we're going to trade all the way up into these 820s, which is where we got stuck on Friday, or it's where we broke down from that wick on Friday and we pushed up and then we failed. So that was the failed follow through level, was 820s. All of the mags so far opening up green, other than Apple, which is in a slight sell. Chopping around here. You gotta fake it. Okay, back into 780 level. Mag all green here. Wondering if we come back down towards VWAP to start the day here. I'm not going to trade it, but just wondering. This is the starter supply up here. Crazy how strong this market has been able to shake off terrible numbers. But yeah, 820s on the book, 820, 830s on the book. You can see them up there. I'm not trading this up here, that's for sure. Relative weakness in ES. ES already come back to VWAP. So ES doing that move I thought NQ might want to do. And fading under VWAP. Are we going to slam down here, market? Are you going to catch up? Or is this just relative strength in NQ and it's not going to be willing to do it? We were about to find out, I think. So ES trading under VWAP, finding a bid, coming back over. So that 6,500 under over remains level on the ES. Mag still all green. Remember, if spiders want to let go, we have gap fill potential. But so far, NQ holding very firm. I think this might be a lackluster day here. Especially if we're just going to drift up. That's going to be pretty much impossible to trade. But if we get a failed breakout or something, a little bit more interesting. But ES rejecting that 61 fib, back down to VWAP again. Question is, does it find a bid here this morning or not? Okay, some acceleration here to the downside from ES. NQ starting to follow. I'll get a little feeler on here just in case, but not really expecting much. Probably a cover inside of VWAP. Little micro boy instantly found a bid. Wow, the strength on NQ is pretty impressive that they do not want to let this do anything. I'm interested in a feeler though. If we trade back under, thought about putting it on, waiting to see if we trade back under. I feel like this is going to be a lackluster day though. Nvidia, I mean, Nvidia's under the range. Doesn't really matter what it does. It's going to push up and test its range. It's bearish, and until Nvidia's back above 72, I wouldn't not be touching that to the long side. It's had a breakdown. It's had a technical breakdown. It's got everyone trapped above 72. Doesn't matter what it does between now and then. That's the level that you want to wait to see if it reclaims. Q's very strong by comparison. Very strong. Just going to sit and do nada. Let this shake out. What am I on here? This doesn't. There we go. So back above Globex. Didn't quite get to VWAP. Squeeze up to 820s then. NQ. Relative strength. ES chopping around the midpoint. Dancing around its VWAP right now, and a little low volume shelf that it has. VIX looks like it's going to close the gap though. So maybe we're going 820s here. And if they start lifting the offer, you never know. Maybe it wants those NFP highs into 902s. Going to be pretty much impossible to trade if they're going to just drift it up like that. Not something I'm interested in, that's for sure. Okay, this is the sort of level here coming into these 820s now. Let me have a look who's above. I think this is not a nice level to be trading around, trying to think bullish here. But if we start basing out up here, we can think about it on the higher time frame. Until then, there's just no way I'm touching this long up here where we failed from. We've repriced that hold H1 bar now that we puked out on Friday, that big drive lower. And all we've done since then is just slowly grind back. How many times have we talked about that? This bid in the market being this slow churn and grind back, and sellers failing to take control when they've got it right there in their hands, and they just don't do it. It's the same thing, but it makes it very hard to buy because you're going to have to buy high to go higher, and very hard to trust that move given the news. Yeah, I'm still in open. It's at 7s. Like I said, I think that's going 8s and 10s. That 640 break was key last week, so looking good. It's actually crazy how much I'm now up on that. Over 300%. Yeah, it's going to go 8s and 10s. It's got a technical break up there. I've got it marked out for some TPs that I'm thinking about. Or it did. There we go. I think we can drift up into these on the dailies, especially now we've taken out this pivot. All right, so I'll be looking at 823s and then up into, so 10s would be a massive level, obviously. But yeah, if you're just joining the stream, I'm swing long in open since I think 198 was my first ad. I think I've got an average price of like 201. We're currently trading at 7s, so looks good. Okay, squeeze is on then. Market just saying to hell with the NFP numbers. They mean nothing. We're just going to go on a bid up, just like it's done for the last few weeks. All right, just straight bid up based on air. Q's trying to take out those highs at the moment from the looks of it. 820 was a decent reclaim. So if we go sideways here long enough, I'd say between 850 and 820. If it holds bids here long enough, then the 905 or 902 high is inevitable. ES not looking quite as good. All right, ES not looking like it wants to reclaim the 61 fib. It keeps pushing in and failing. Very different looking charts at the moment. So ES, remember, making a new all-time high on Friday. NQ not. ES getting stuck at the 61. NQ looking like it wants to take out its 902 pivot at the moment. But let's just see. That 620 level is key. If they don't hold 620 and they've just trapped a load of buyers above it, we might see a rotation back down. Clear rejection on ES. Is coming back down towards its VWAP right now. This is a big, strong sell. So maybe they've just trapped everyone on that 61 push. VWAP coming up here on the ES. NQ's got room to fall here. It really has. Especially if we start taking out these lows that we just put in. So we're already back under 820s. VWAP here on the ES. If we see a push and fail now, I'm interested. If this just trapped and we see a push and fail and we start building out this, I'm interested because ES is rejecting aggressively. Problem is the mag is very, very green. You gotta shake it. Big sell here, ES. Straight through its VWAP. Looking for low of day now on ES. Back down to that 6,500. We talked about that in the newsletter. 6,500, big under over, psychological level. VIX filled its gap, folks. All right, VIX finding a bid off that gap fill. Cash gap. Qs have relative strength, right? Make sure you're zooming out. All right, we can just... Oh, we don't want to do that on here. No. Make sure you're zooming out. You understand where we are. Why I'm not willing to be bullish up here. All right, we've repriced Friday. We're trying to hold. This is supply. I don't want to be buying up here. It's going to have to build some form of structure or above for that squeeze out. If we get below this structure, then we're looking for this. chop and slop until then. I'm letting everyone else pay for the information in here. Thought about a few times taking a short if we get back under New York, but we're not seeing it yet. But let everyone else pay for the information in here. And then if we do this, great. 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 I don't want to get caught in this. This is garbage. So I can show you right now. I'm flat, all right? Flat. Nothing. Nada. Thanks, Robert. All right, you've got currently, this is the question, do they make a lower high here is what I was just talking about. Currently, you've got the 15-minute, 30-minute, 60-minute, 4-hour, daily, and weekly all neutral on that new indicator. So between the 21 and the 200. Is that correct? I'm not sure that's correct. Let me see. That's incorrect on NinjaTrader. Okay, I'm going to have to message him. I'm glad I'm testing that because it's actually bullish on every time frame. Hang on, folks. I have to do it like message the coder now. Okay. All right, ES still chopping around. NQ still chopping around. Range so far on the day, just 77 points. Coming into that 15-minute candle about to be printed. We have relative strength in the Qs, that's for sure. It's going to be the harder play today. If you're looking short, Qs are going to be much, much harder. That's very, very evident so far. So far holding this Globex as a potential RBS at the moment. It might well be a day where we're going to have to let everyone else just battle it out for a bit before we make a decision, because there's no way I'm buying above this golden pocket in supply, and with the Qs having this much strength, we can't really do much else. So maybe once Trump gets out of the way. Stay away from 15-minute orb. I mean, if you're an orb trader, you should be playing the same setup every day. There shouldn't be a reason like one day stay away, one day not. You should be having your signals and your reason to trade it. Would I be trading a 15-minute orb breakout here into the upside? No, but you need to have rules for when you take it and when you don't. Well, if there's news, yeah, then there you go. Then you've got a rule. You're staying away from news. That makes sense. Just make sure you've got, as long as you're sticking to the same rules every single day, because you can't record data if that data is not on a level playing field, right? So if your rules are, okay, don't take an orb if it's in supply, or don't take an orb if there's news coming up that minute, that makes sense. Or if you're playing an orb where you're like, okay, I need a 5-minute close outside of an orb, that would make sense, for example. Same for anything, right? You've got to be consistent. So far, still holding flow zones, and we're just trading back into supply. Held that 800 again. Feels like it wants to take out that NFP high. It really does, but there's no way I'm trading up to that. ES has relative weakness here. Mag now all green, Apple finding a bid. As a sector, Mag 7 are up 1.06% if they were equally weighted. So strength in the sector. Relative strength versus NQ, which is only up 0.66%. So you can see as a sector, the Mag are strong. They're dragging this market up. Open now, 722s. Here we go. Off to the races. What am I up now on my open? Oh, 257%. Oh, I thought it was up more than that. 2, 4, 6. That doesn't make sense. Math ain't mathing. Yeah, I've got average price of $1.98 on open. Bad macro number doesn't really affect the mega caps. I mean, it probably will. It would take time. The problem at the moment, JD, is that number points towards that we need rate cuts, right? This is the situation we're going to be in. Does Powell get forced to do a half-point cut? Historically, if you go back and you look over the last however many years, every time we've done quantitative easing after quantitative tightening in this kind of this kind of move, it's the quantitative easing that has triggered the recession because it happens too late, and then we go into nosedive territory. We just have to see, man. People might go half basis point cut, fantastic, new highs. Just might be what they're bidding in. I wouldn't be surprised if that triggers the opposite, but let's see. All right, so your opening range is now set. This white line, so failing to break out the high, not near the low at the New York VWAP right now. ES relative weakness coming down to its current New York low of day. All right, and NQ just trading at the midpoint. So alignment, no alignment. Apple just gone red into a sell. Is the rest of the market going to follow suit? This is just in a range. This is nothing more than a range we're seeing right now. Just chop and slop. That bid up off ES. So protecting the 500s. It drifts under the 500s, reclaims the 500s, back up to point of control, probably sells back down a bit, and then can it find a bid at VWAP and have another attempt? Who knows? This is garbage action to start the week. I'm just really impressed that given the strength of that sell Friday, that they were able to hold that 5-day, hold the 500s, and we've just bid up 6, 7, 8, like 330 points in a grind up ever since 11 a.m. on Friday. It's been nothing more than just a grind. These shorts just cannot take control of this market since March this year. Every opportunity they've had for a technical breakdown, they are unable to do it. Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about I see what you're saying, JD. I'd be more concerned about who are they selling to? Who are they selling to? Because the job numbers are starting to point towards that. No, we're losing employment, right? There's not enough people employed, which means that debt and that credit card debt is not going to get paid. So if you get a situation like 08, where the debt, rather than it being mortgage-based debt, but just general debt and credit and stuff, and people lose their jobs and they can't make payments, you're going to have major pressure there, because then what happens is sales start to diminish, companies start to get rid of more and more people because they're not making enough P&L to do R&D, for example, and then you just get this cascading effect. But who knows? Time will tell. So far, we've managed to shake off every little bit of bad number. Remember, we've not seen the effects of tariffs yet, and that's going to take months to start to show. It's starting to rear its ugly head, and it may do more and more over the next coming months. Zar, gold will keep making new all-time highs because no one is willing to take the bet on the dollar right now. That's why. China decided 2 years ago, F the dollar. It's not the standard rate. We don't like it. Once Trump came in and openly said he's going to decimate the dollar, why would you keep the dollar, right? So you pull out the dollar and you go to gold. That becomes your standard. And so it would keep making all-time highs all the time. They are hell-bent on smashing the dollar down. So that makes perfect sense to me. Look at the Dixie. Look where the Dixie is now, 97. I mean, if you're American, this is not good, folks. If you've got any ambition on going on holiday and leaving here, what they're doing is not good. They're trying to keep you in this country. That's what they're trying to do. You have to work here. You have to pay taxes here. You can't leave the country because if you leave the country, everything will be very, very, very expensive. And we need to produce everything here. You're not going to be able to afford to buy it from elsewhere. But hey, this is where we are. Yeah. No. Look at this chop on ES. It can't get going. Just stuck. Yeah, this market is stuck. We're into supply here. Feels like NQ wants to take out the highs and ES has got no juice. And VIX is bid up off its PDC. Still in a 91-point range here this morning. Coming into that new 4-hour and hourly candle. Last hourly candle's been pretty big, actually. So, like, if they reprice this, they can reprice back down to 91s. This right here, this Globex, into the new for the new hour I'm talking about. All-time, well, not all-time highs, but that pivot high from Friday at 902s. All right, thank you. Liquidity still above 60s, 70s, 75, 80s. Yeah, Dow's selling, RTY selling. Like I said, this is just the mag. This is literally the mag holding up. That's all this is. I'm telling you, though, if NVIDIA rejects these 72s, that will be the signal. If it reclaims 72s, goes back in old range, it's a failed breakout NVIDIA underneath. I'm pretty sure it's 72s. I'm going to check this again. Where's that price alert there? Where was that breakdown? Yeah, 72s. That's massive, massive level on NVIDIA. Massive level. That might dictate how this market reacts beyond that. Just nothing to do here for me. Not right now. I'm not buying dips up here. I'm sorry, folks. There's just no way. If you're like, oh, there's enough action there. If that suits you down to the ground, take it by all means. But there's no way I'm buying dips into where we failed from so aggressively last week. No way. If we base above it, I'll think about it. Zoom out, put that pair. These guys get filled. And they're just drifting higher for this 900. Big sellers up there, you can see if I zoom out. Up here, 443 lot above 900. That they're looking for NFP high. It's as simple as that. They want that NFP high. they're probably all stuck there from last week, and they're like, let's just get up there, and then we can make a decision on what we do next. ES trying to find a bid here. Still just dancing in its range. Its high of New York session is 09s. Its low is 98. So you got basically an 11-point range. It's trying to trade up towards its high at the moment on ES. New candle coming here soon. This is just like all of the last month, just grind and grind and grind and grind and grind and grind in supply. Apple green to red again. Rest of the market holding up. I'll give you a readout. Tesla 1% up. Nvidia 2.28% up. Microsoft approaching 1% up. Meta 1.50% up. Google just under 1% at 0.92% up. Amazon bang on 1% up. Apple 0.07% down. Mag 7 doing the damage. All right, we're not going to sell if the Mag 7 are all bidding up together. If you're like, oh, it's only 7 stocks, you're right, but it's about 60% now. I mean, Nvidia's worth so much of this market now, it's insane. I think 8% of the whole market currently on the spiders is Nvidia. Mental. I have 500 stocks, it's worth 8%. We're just chilling it. Let's see if it can build out some structure at any point today rather than just this slow walk up. ES still failing its highs, back into where it's created volume so far this session. So huge divergence continues. All of this was in the newsletter, folks. We talked about this. Divergence in the newsletter, making it hard to trade at the moment. How they act to news events is going to be key. Stronger selling here on the tape. Much stronger selling here on the tape. Yeah, they're walking this aggressively down now. Might come and clean up some of this back towards VWAP potentially, and then see if they find a bid there. ES already at its VWAP. And this is ugly. All right, ES to VWAP. Let's see if it holds 500s or not. If it doesn't hold 500s, it's going to test low of day in the New York session. Here's your 501s on ES. Let's check out the liquidity above. Pick both sides with some action above. Oh, this guy just left the tape, so that might be increasing the sell pressure here. You've got 30 seconds until this new hour and 4-hour candle, and then maybe we can make a decision. But of course, someone said Trump's talking then. Let's just check if I've had that come up yet on Financial Juice. I don't see anything. Announcement at 4 p.m. Let me refresh this. Yeah, I got nothing. I can't see anything. All right, ES back under its VWAP, aggressively selling here in the open of this new hour. Does it find a bid on that 500s? Key level now for the ES. We've already started to sweep some of these levels back into the open range. So if you took that opening range, I can't remember who was asking, Dean, it would have worked for you, paid a little bit. You're back into it now. I'll be watching this New York VWAP. If we let go of this, then we can think about this channel that they've just been bidding off all session so far, the first 30 minutes. Actually, channel. ES so far not breaking down under its lows. If you're like, what are you talking about? You keep looking at ES because it is just chopping sideways, folks. All right. You were boxed in. There's your box. There's a protection of lows. There's a protection of the highs. This is boxed in. Until we see this and under here, that's when we might get a stronger sell. If NQ wants to play ball, remember, if you're going to short today on NQ, you're trading a stronger asset. It is a harder short. It's probably an easier long on NQ today than it is on ES. And an easier short on ES than it is on NQ. Right, back down to low of day on the ES here. Do we get a technical breakdown here at all? Where's that view up? 282s. ES new lower day. Is NQ going to follow here, folks? Are we going to follow and trade down towards the lows? Watching this now. I want to see how we operate here. If ES trades up to 500s and rejects it or not after sweeping the lows. Still not considered anything for a continuation until I see some clear momentum come in. This is just a pullback to view up, trapping these buyers above this level so far. All right, buyers are now trapped up here on the session. If we push and fail and do this, maybe I'll consider it. But we have relative strength so far. And if ES reclaims 500, then there's not really anything to consider. We're gonna make it happen. All right, so retesting where we break down from. ES coming back up to that 500. Decision point for the market. All right, if we're going to sell, it's going to need to reject these levels that we're trading into here. If it reclaims this, then I would be fairly confident that we're going to go and take out that NFP high at this point. So trying to be neutral bias. Overall sentiment has been bullish. It just depends. ES is rejecting its 61. Has sold to a new low today. Remember, ES just took out. ES just did this morning, and just now on this pullback here, just took out its low. So if it comes back into here and rejects, we move lower. This is why I don't want a long supply. It's just a basic rule for me. I do not long in supply. You have fun on financial juice. So I just checked that. I must be blind, man. Oh, it's right there. I am absolutely blind. It's staring me bang in the face. Monday morning. Sorry, folks. Thank you, Peter. All right, ES back to that 500. Still not taking anything. Still waiting for something to set up if it sets up at all. Yes, at that 500 key level. Remember, this was all of these levels were already in the newsletter for you. If you got the newsletter yesterday, everything here was in it. We talked about the importance of these levels. Technically, NQ can be in a squeeze higher at this point. We reclaimed 720s. But when we got to the market this morning, it's already done it. I didn't want to join late. And really, it can quite easily take out these highs, especially if ES is willing to hold the 500s. Oh, my friends went to Oasis last night. They're sending me videos. I'm telling you guys, if you like Oasis, the best concert in the world, if you manage to get tickets, just go. Just go. It doesn't matter what you pay, just go. Even like the visual effects on it are insane. Absolutely insane. All right, please do me a favor. At least 100 of you in chat right now have not smashed that like button. Let's get that like button smashed. Get it up to 100. ES back approaching its New York VWAP at the moment. Dancing at that 501 level. It's trying to reclaim 500s. If it shoves through VWAP here, then maybe we go for a squeeze. So this so far has done nothing more than trap buyers up here, pulled back, maybe trap sellers who were aggressively trying to short here. If we do this, we probably take out these 902s. I just don't like the areas we're trading in right now on NQ. Really don't like it. I will sit tight until I feel really confident about a trade, especially on a Monday. I don't want to start the week off bad. Because it's all too much for me to take. Yeah, it is. Muhammad is insane. It's been like that for a long time now. You know, if they don't want to sell, this market doesn't move. Still got this big seller above, I believe. Yeah, he's still up at 900. That's still acting like a magnet. Not much liquidity below at the moment. You can see not much resting liquidity below. 900, 950. Big sellers up there. This feels like it's going to squeeze at this point. ES starting to reclaim key levels. Let me check the video at that level. Nvidia. If Nvidia starts basing between 69 and 72, it's going to build out a huge amount of liquidity between those two key levels. Las Vegas has an amazing screen in a stadium. Are you talking about the Sphere? It's not a stadium. If you're talking about that, maybe you mean the Sphere. They will never play the Sphere. They're way too big. It's not big enough. They'd need to pay, if they're going to play Vegas and add a date, then they would be playing at the Raiders Stadium, I would have thought. All right, yes, rejecting volume up in front of 05s. God, this is awful here, folks. Still being patient. We're in bullish order flow, lower time frame. We're in bullish order flow, higher time frame. We haven't taken out the top side of the range. I'm just not trusting what I'm seeing here. This feels like just a big liquidity building session to me so far. So I'm trying to be very, very diligent. If ES holds VWAP here, puts in a higher low, then maybe they can put a squeeze on. So far, it just feels like it's trapping both sides across all the indexes. Fair to make a new high here. If they hold this level down here, though, 50s, I'd say. Yeah, 50s. If they put in a higher low at 50s, this would be a W to come and take this out. If they let this go, then this is your bear flag and a rotation under here possible. So decision point, 50s here. Hold this, can possibly do that. So they have stops here and stops here they can use to get higher. Under 50, under VWAP. If they get stuck, then that rotation down to New York Open and then maybe Globex again. Yeah, exactly, Peter. Exactly. We're not in a trend day, so what do we talk about at the beginning of the day? right? Beginning of the day. Always go through the dailies, guys. Beginning of the day, what did we see? Right, we're opening up inside the previous week. We were opening up inside the previous day. We opened up inside Asia and London. We're trading in and around the opening range right now. Our range on the day is just 104, right? So it shouldn't be screaming at you, let's go higher or sell me. It should be screaming at you, let everyone else pay for it. Let everyone else figure out the liquidity pools. Let everyone else build their pain levels in. And then we can trade, right? We like trading when one side is stuck. It might mean we don't get a trade today. We will have to see, folks. It might mean we don't get one today. It might need the whole of today to build liquidity. It is possible, given how we acted Friday. I will not feel confident about longing this market unless there's either a base above those old highs, or really, because of the higher time frame, I would really want to see it retest a low. All right. We have not, ever since this big sell, this is wave one, wave two, we've not retested this and said to me, hey, buyers are firm here. We've not done that. Not at all. This is a grind, 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 grind. You wouldn't want to buy up here for danger of that. Now, if we get above, if we reprice and base above up here, yes, we have pools of liquidity here we can think about here, right? Definitely. We've talked about that, but it's got to show me a willingness to do something, not just a pump and grind and grind and grind and grind without structure, right? Because every time we've done that before, without a retest, grind and grind, grind and grind and grind. Oh, good night, right? So this is what the danger of. Think about this last move a few weeks ago. Oh, good night. You know, so we're really just dancing in this huge box. I just don't want to become one of the people trapped. It's just saying to me, like, there is indecision in this market right now. And it's not surprising when you look at what's been happening. It's really unsurprising, isn't it? Like, you would have to be a brave person right now to be buying all-time highs, given the size of the move. All right, let's just go to a weekly. Let's think about the lack of pullbacks. All right, since this pivot low in March, inside bar, up, up, very slight inside bar, up. Look at the size of the drives higher. Have we ever retested these guys here? No. All right, so I would say basically since July, this is a huge liquidity building phase in the market. Right, and we are in danger of a failed breakout. If we do that, fantastic. If we break underneath and come down to here, fantastic. We can bid off it. But this is a huge ranging market. Well, I say huge, it's about 1,000 points, 900 points at the market. And we've been in this since July. So July, August, we're now into September. Two months and a week, we've been doing this same thing here, summer trading, right? Until we see this, or we see this, or we see like a fail breakdown, or we see a fail breakout, then we're going to have chop and slop. And this is fractal. So this is exactly what you are also seeing lower time frame. And no one, or no one of any sense, wants to buy all-time highs right now, given the data that we're seeing. We're not seeing good economic data saying, hey, this is a healthy market. Yes, lower high again there. So ES now making lower highs, lower lows, especially if we break down underneath this low. MAG all holding strong. Is Trump talking now? I'm assuming he's talking now. Yeah, VIX stuck at its 20-day and just basing at that PDC, isn't it? Just be patient, folks. Like, maybe we get a trade here today, maybe we don't. But what you don't want to do is trade something which isn't your setup, all right? If you're seeing your setup here, if you have a opening range trade which doesn't have a condition about supply, then you've probably got a trade here, right? If you're buying every dip into flow zones, right? If that's your setup, that's also fine. You've got a trade here. For me, I'm looking for multi-time frame Confluence. I don't have a trade yet. It's just how it is. I'm okay with that. Absolutely fine with that. VIX back, ES back down to that 500 again. The newsletter level. All right. ES flirting with those 500s. Does it go for a re-breakdown for a low of day here? It's making lower highs so far on the session and lower lows, but this is key point now. This is where we pivoted off. MAG all green other than Apple. Like I said, Nvidia, unless it gets through that 172, very dangerous stock. New York, VWAP here. Honestly, sometimes I wonder what my wife's doing. Could she slam things any harder? All right, New York VWAP here. ES coming down to low of day, letting go of 500. Low of day coming here. Maybe we go into a sell at this point. If they start slamming this on ES, it's going to be hard for NQ to recover. Otherwise, a trap level still possible underneath this. 1, 2. We have to see. So ES, new low day. Finding a bid instantly. Does it go back and reject the 500s now? 500s key under over on ES today. That's being the driver at the moment, I would say. Nvidia back to VWAP as well. Potential RBS level here on Nvidia, I think. Let me zoom this out. No, not really, just a pullback level. Yeah, I think this could be a bit tricky for Nvidia here if we see follow through in this market. Nvidia under its VWAP now as well. New lower day ES. All right, moving into a sell pattern here now. So walked up. If we get stuck here, if we leave these buyers now, this is your first lower high, failed to break out. All right, so what does that say? This is where buyers have got stuck. Any rejection here, we should be able to trade back down into these levels at this point. Watching ES very carefully because it's had relative weakness. So if it hits objectives early, it's going to be a little bit more tricky for us to get a trade in this. But Nvidia clearly couldn't even get up to those 72s, trading back down towards VWAP now. Underneath VWAP, doing a little wiggle. So waiting to see if we put a lower high in here or if it's a trap level. We are in range rotation, so you have to be very, very careful looking for continuation trades in rotational markets, as we talk about every single time on stream that we're in rotation. ES into its higher time frame algo. I'd like to lean on this if it would give me the opportunity. Gap fill potential still there as well. So ES gap fill potential all the way down to 490s. We have gap fill potential all the way down to here. 680 is obviously previous day value area high above that. So basically the 700s. 720 was the key level, I think, that we talked about in the newsletter. I think it was 720s I was talking about. 700s to 720s, yeah. All right, so that would be a cleaning out of Globex and then see if it bases there or not. So ES bidding off high time frame algo at the moment. Want to see if ES rejects that 500. Same thing we've been looking at all morning. See if we can get some kind of lean on this market for a rotation. If it traps, then obviously we won't take it. We'll be looking for the upside. But at the moment, yes, bidding off that high time frame algo, man. Not taking out that pivot low at 93 yet. I think there's more downside in this market at the moment. Here it comes. Watching VWAP here. Big selling coming in. 800 big level here. If we fail that, you can see the buyer on the tape there. If we fail that, we slice through VWAP, that would mean. Looking for a pop to fail, ideally. Be careful of the rotation between these. Looking for a pop to fail here. Reclaim that, then no good. We need a pop to fail to build out some structure here, and then this move here. Want to be careful. If we reclaim this, I won't take it, because then we're going to leave some excess here. This is bullish, and then we've swept and swept, and a reclaim here can be very bullish back up. So this is your level right now that they're going to need to do a dance at and then see how they operate when they get there. That's probably the same as the 500 level, which ES is trading into again here. So the same thing all morning. Want to be careful thinking about follow through, because we're in a range. All right, so we're looking for edge to edge. At the moment, we're sort of looking for a midpoint trade, which is not ideal, but we're just watching to see if they're going to have follow through. John is short at 37. It's a nice short. Letting go of VWAP. This makes sense from here to here. You give you like 40 odd points. I'd make sure you're paying yourself some, and then see if they reject here on this next push up. Mag still all green other than Apple. Are they going to have a push and fail here, or are they just going to reclaim? All right, here we go. Here's the key level. Into that VWAP, reclaim it, squeeze, fail it, probably attempt for a new low and let go of the other VWAP. Here we go. Here we go. Some reaction. You know, we're going to get a new low here into the next VWAP. What are you doing? Love to see a breakdown. Actually give us something to play with today. I actually even don't mind a squeeze above and a base. Just please, just don't do nothing. Use the bathroom here as well quickly. Morse chop. All right, reclaim of 500 on the ES, back to VWAP. So maybe they trap here on a 2-leg. And this is just tricky how they're doing this. You'd need to see some kind of pullback hold if they're going to do this move long. I wanted to see this and fail, which we haven't seen. So now really, like I said, if they're going to hold, they can squeeze. So reclaimed. I've missed the entry here. I'm not even convinced there is an entry here. Maybe above that high on a reclaim of 34s. Messy. Like I said, relative strength in NQ is going to be the much harder asset to short today. ES now going back up towards its value on session of the highs. If it pulls back and holds the VWAP, if we pull back and hold above 36s, there's a potential long, but you are making lower highs and lower lows at this point. But now that this might have trapped under here, this can possibly be a better long setup. But they sure as are not going to make this easy for you. You've got to be willing to trade both sides like we talked about. In a range, you'll be willing to trade both sides. Yes, and back to those 05s. You can see the liquidity above here, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, and then there'd be big numbers above. There you go, 900. So that's where they're trying to get to. They want to take out those highs. There's a zero pullback since sweeping this low, or maybe there was what here just when I left, but I would not be long in there. I'd be long in here maybe, if you're playing that trap level. $5 minutes been remaining bullish. Every time frame so far based on that trend frame pro is still bullish. Here you go, coming for those IB highs now. That happened pretty quick while I was away. VIX back down to PDC. Seller here, trying to refresh. I think he's going to get stuck here though. That 880 looks fairly primed to get taken out. 877 or whatever it is. What a gross kind of day. Just back to the top side of this range. Haven't taken out. There's a double top left up there, right? Yeah, haven't taken that out yet. So I think we're going to trade upside here. Especially if it pulls back and holds anywhere around here. Leaves these sellers stuck underneath this. Remember, they would have come in short for a breakdown under this rather than waiting for a retest to firm up. And they got trapped, and this is their squeeze. So any pullback here which offers that long, as long as it doesn't let these guys out, probably plays out now. So you're looking to take out IB high and then 900s if you can get it. Here we go. So they're trapped. They're trapped and they're trading up. ES, the much better trader. Look how ES went to high time frame algo, trapped everyone down there, and then ripped back upside. It's a much cleaner type of trade on ES. So watching this IB high. Remember, above IB high, you can think about auction versus failed auction. We did get that H1 rebalance. It didn't quite come deep enough, but it did pretty good. We were looking for 92s for a full rebalance. What did it offer? Did it offer on the session? Come on, Mr. Fib. Come on, Mr. Fib. Thank you. It actually pulled back right to the 61 of that hourly candle. Interesting. That's a 61% pullback. This one here. To the dot of the hourly bar. So from here to here, that's a 61%. So I'd be looking for this now, if it will offer it. Oh, come on, market. Please. Give me something to play with. Well, into those 80s that we talked about. Squeeze is on. Squeeze is on here. So through this, then they're looking for 902s. Through 902s, we're probably likely to take out highs, to be honest. Not today, but very possible. I want to be careful, though, because you're trading up towards the top Bollinger when you get into sort of 24Ks. So you got auction versus failed auction theory here on the initial balance. Just cleared out those highs. If a pullback holds here, there's the opportunity for it to move higher if they're intent on taking out that NFP candle today. You just got to be careful because SPY and ES are still rejecting supply level from Friday. It's we're not in alignment. Let's just put it that way. We are not in alignment when we look at the indexes right now. So sellers are currently trapped underneath 35s, all right? That's what you need to know at the moment. Sellers are trapped under 35s. Breakout buyers are trapped over 76. All right, so breakout buyers are trapped over this. Sellers are trapped under this. This is the dance. If a pullback holds this, you can see it's trying to hold trend at the moment. Any pullback which holds above this area, right, can come up and take this out. Where's our volume gone? It's pretty accurate. I can probably get rid of that. Still sat here waiting. I'd like just some form of trade today, something with high confidence setting up. How long we got left here? 10 seconds, and we can look at this last drive out. All right, as long as we hold this 5-minute bar print up, then I think we're looking for longs. If we start letting go underneath 30s, then buyers probably get trapped. Trying to be, I know you're going to be like, he's flipping both sides today. Yeah, I am, because we're in a range. I've got to be willing to trade both sides of the action today. We're not in a pro trend. So if I'm going to take a trade, I need to be flexible. I don't want to get too biased. Do I think we can take out 902s? Yes. At the moment, it feels like enough bears got trapped in this session. Under here, really. By stepping in here aggressively. All right, what are we doing, folks? Flag territory here, holding that level. Does this double stand out to you as a sign of rejection? What double, buddy? This top? No, not really. Not at all. Not really for me. I think we're going to trade through it at the moment. It's just the playing longs up here when we've set the initial balance and we're in a range day is really, really tricky. Oh, Trump on stage now. Yeah, so I think this is what I'm looking at the moment, right? This was a walk up. This was a walk up today. All right, we don't buy when we're walking up like that. That's very, very dangerous. So then we get a 2-leg pullback. Bears came in underneath this low, failed to get the breakdown that they want. They want to take this out, remember. They failed to get it. All right, so now what's this? We can use more liquidity to go higher. So I would say right now, everyone is stuck under here. So as long as they're holding anything above this, they can afford to do another leg and micro again, then they're going to look to take out 902s. That's what they want to do. Underneath this, we can think otherwise. The other thing to consider is just that IB rotation. The hard thing today is that we are still inside. We're inside weekly, we're inside daily, we're inside initial balance. All right, so rotation is possible. Nice, Julian. Nice work. So it feels like to me it wants to go for that squeeze up to those 902s. That's feels like the potential target of what it would like to do. But it's like, how do we get involved at the moment? But you can see how it's built this liquidity above this breakout, 30% pullback for a flag. Maybe you bought these dips into here. I don't know. I didn't. Do I live to regret it? Very possibly if it goes 902s. That would give you a 50-point move. All right, here's the break. ES breaking aggressively. All right, in this very small size, if it will give me an entry. I'm late on it if it gives me an entry, so I'm going to trade small size. I just want one more sort of dip underneath this internal, ideally. Don't really want to be buying value area high right now. Nice push from ES. Taking out initial balance high. Next level for ES. Let me just check this. It's kind of low vol here. It can trade through this if it wants ES for a little bit. Oh, man. It's hard because I know we're in range rotation, so I really don't want to be long up here. Second guessing myself a little bit here. I think the draw is higher. It's just whether they need to retrap first. We're trying to build liquidity out here to go higher. That is for sure. It's how deep do they need to pull to retrap? Plus, we've got Trump talking now, correct? I think you guys just said. See if I can get that up. Can't imagine this would be important, but so 880, 882, 885, 890, 895, 900, and then 905. Basically, 902 is the level that they want to trade to, like we keep talking about. They're trying to find a way. You can see micro inverse head and shoulders here as well. They want to just get up here. That's the job today. Take out those 902s. Nvidia's failing to make a new high here at the moment, so just being careful here. Still not in this, getting frustrated at this point. VIX new lower day. Under PDC. Mag still strong. Alex, could you give an overview of how you mark SNR? The course said the last candle before the swing, but on higher time frame, candles cover big areas. How do you shrink them into smaller zones? Just go down the time frame. So mark it on an hourly and then move down to like a 15 minutes and you can like adjust it. Yeah, starting to push now. You can see those 905s, they're looming. It's what it wants to take out. It's desperate to take out 902s. There's orders on the book up there and above. It wants to take out this high, this NFP high. Remember, we're just at initial balance here, folks. So if it holds a bid at IB or around IB, this, if it doesn't do this, or if it does this first and then fails under IB, then you get the failed auction down to VWAPs. Those are the plays right now. Value on the day here, value at area low here, POC right here. So it either bids this for a new squeeze or lets go of it for rotation. Right now, buying pressure, holding this market up. Nvidia also got the chance to make an inverse head and shoulder here on a 5 minute. It's going to have to hold a bid, I'd say, around the 70s ideally. You wouldn't want it to come back down towards VWAP. Nice, Peter. You took that pullback here. Yeah, like I said, that's probably the safest trade so far in this session. It's here. Once they've done the 2-leg push pull, I just wanted a little bit deeper. I'm being a bit too fussy, I think. This thing's going to go. It's a matter of time till this goes through those 902s for you. So new flag being set up here. Above that initial balance, we talked about it. If it holds IB, there's an IB extension trade up to 902s. If it fails IB, then there's the IB rotation back down to VWAP. Those are the plays at the moment. You're in range. We're not in a breakout territory, remember, until we take out the weekly and daily highs, which is 902s. That should break out and fail breakout territory up there. I'm not convinced of that top there at 86 either, so I still think we're going to go higher. Just the question is, do they need to trap more bears in? Nvidia, though, it's got to find a bid here at the 70s like we just talked about. If it wants to have that push back up to 71, it's going to need to find a bid here, which it might have just found. Yeah, they're trying to bid in here. Okay, can we go now then? Feeler on this long. Here we go. New highs come in. Beautiful. Come on, don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Squeeze now. You've got enough caught. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Up to 900s and 902s, please. Little seller here at 890. Want him out the way, and then we should trade 900s. Please, no more faffing. No more faffing. Nvidia, you piece of shit. Break even there. I'm not willing to hold it if Nvidia's doing this. I can show you why I'm watching Nvidia. Right, it needs to hold this level here, Nvidia. It has to hold this for that rotation. Remember, there's supply. This here is big supply. All right, until it's through that, really, Nvidia can be very, very bearish. This was a technical breakdown, multiple time frame. All right here. That's the edge of its range. So Nvidia needs to find a bid, which is now found. All right, it's now found. So we just want Nvidia to try and get through POC, create this inverse head and shoulder. This will help the market. Trading is so annoying. All right, if it can do this up to here, this will just help the market take out 902s. I'm risk off. The moment we take out 902s, I'd be risk off. I'm now break even, like I said, because I got stopped out break even. Can't do much with that. Well, it was actually a couple ticks above, but tricky. You're wondering why I get break even so quick up here. It's because we are in supply. We're at the top of value of the day. I don't want to risk Nvidia rolling and getting a kill candle down to here. So I'm really not giving it room because I'm buying high to go higher right now. It's my least favorite trade to do, but that's what I'm doing because I think the objective is to take this out. The danger is that they come down here before they do it, or that they don't do it at all. Yeah, I know, Raf. I've got it up just here. He's talking about the Bible, so not really thinking about market effects here. Nvidia's found that bid we just talked about. Want to see it break through 70.50s. ES 5 minute just straight pumping upside right now. VIX might break down to previous day low, which will help this ES move higher if it does. Oh, man, what a lame session. No, Raf, I was and got stopped out break even. I was trying to play a bit of continuation on that last trap. Just not giving it any room here. I'm waiting now. Right, watching ESC if it trades into IB and holds. Nvidia is not pushing through those 70.50s yet. You want to see if that's going to do it. VIX finding a little bit of a bid, trading back up to PDC. I have to see how it reacts here. And this is what I was worried about longing up there. That's why I took the break even on it. Big buyers just come in underneath. 50s. And he's just left. So we've got spoofing on the tape. And he's moved to 900. All right, so that buyer at 50 is actually a seller at 900. We've got major spoofing on the tape. Fun. New H1 coming in 8.5 minutes. So one trade today. It's break it, or it's just above break even because I'm in the money, but that's it. Not seeing what I want yet. The easy money is going to come on a breakout or fail breakout above those 902s. That's where the liquidity is resting. Do I think the goal is to get Nvidia to 150? I don't know if it's a goal, but it's definitely a level of interest. Nice, Peter. Yeah, go and enjoy. We're underneath the IB now. You can see this value area high been left here. If we reclaim that, there's a 902 push. If they keep rejecting here, that rotation to VWAP and POC is very, very possible. I'm less and less interested in this market by every tick that goes on. Okay, I'm not listening to this anymore. It's just kids talking about the Bible, so it's not affecting the market. Nice, Mike Light. Good work. Keep AMD needs to get going one of these days. My leaps don't like what it's doing right now. Your ages though, right? On the leaps, you got like another 10 months left or something. Plenty of time. Yeah, I think am I down on AMD? It's the only one I'm down on. Yeah, still looks good. It's strong here, man. AMD looks like it wants to fill that gap, Coop. 47s. Once that's filled, we can think about what's next. Yes, good push here. Q's now flat. Like we've just sort of stopped moving. ES new high day. Oh, terrible market. Yeah, nice. If you're trading ES, it's moving real good. Real good for you. Market's like thinned out. You can see there's not much going on here. 900s, 905 looks like the goal. This guy down here at 850 is a spoofer. Right, because earlier, where is he? He came on thick right here, and then as soon as we dropped down towards him, he left and he put on sell side up here. All the liquidity sat resting above really at the moment. But we are stuck underneath the IB. POC's just flipped as well. Oh, you gotta love Mondays. It's always nice to have a good start to the week rather than just sat here watching trash. New hourly bar coming in 3 minutes. Maybe we get something then. All right, here's the push attempt. There's your initial balance. This is the target. This is where it wants to go if they have the juice. You need to be careful if they fail here, right? You've got to be careful if they fail here if you're still in this long. I'm still not in it long. Had an attempt and failed. They're adding liquidity above now into 887. And 890 and 895. They're still not getting up there. It's crazy. So that IB, big level here, folks. POC and IB, big level. The problem is if ES starts achieving objectives and NQ doesn't move and then ES starts failing, you know what's going to happen. We're going to have weakness with it. This is Nvidia. Nvidia can't get that through that 70-50 back down towards 170s again. I'm telling you, if Nvidia doesn't find a bid, this market is going to struggle. Tesla red on the day now, 0.5% down. Apple red on the day, 0.20% down. The rest of the market looks good. Nvidia 1.83% up, but struggling to get above that 170.50, which is where it would need to go to take out the IB high. Microsoft 1.10% up, Meta 1.21% up, Google 1/3%, Amazon just under 2%. So the rest of the market looks good, holding pretty firm. ES starting to see a little bit of selling up here into those 15s. It's just too risky up here for my appetite. There you go. So those 15s being sold into. So if you're in that IB to VWAP, that might be the play at the moment. Nvidia coming back down towards VWAP as well. New ranges being built out here. Still, I lack interest in this market. This still feels like it's just going to trap more and more and more. So SPY sold in front of 650. That was the sell there into 650. So the question is now, does ES hold initial balance and RBS zone or not? Nice, Tyson. Yeah, I thought you might be in that. IB to VWAP. Looking good so far. Yes, holding a big volume shelf there. Nvidia didn't even make it to VWAP. What are we doing, market? I just need one move. I just need it to do something, just take out a level. This is the problem. We've not taken out those 902s, so we have no breakout now, no fail breakout. We've not taken out Globex downside. We've not traded under 700s. We're not even trading under 800s. So we're just in a liquidity building phase of this market. It's just so risky to put anything on here. And trade back down to this slightly lower imbalance here. Not a lot in it, but it is slightly smaller. All right, so your volume, thinner in here. Thinner in here because we bid up quickly through here. Gotta love Mondays. No news Mondays. Terrible. Right, 1 hour left till we get to lunch. Can we get a trade? Can we get a trade? Still left them up there. Yep. Whichever one's first, I take. And then hold for the next one. But they're both in the same place now, so I don't know why they double stacked here. There we go. So I'd be taking partial into that 40, and then down here is the origin of the move. It's where we squeezed from, so the next view up. So if you can get 40 and then get 15s, and then you never know, you might get a full breakdown if you get really lucky. Right at POC here. The video's going to come back down to its view up by the looks of it. For indicators, these are the flow zone indicators. So sweet, right here. With view up and volume, that's all. ES still basing, still looks strong. Still basing, still looks strong. Liquidity is still resting up above us right now. Nvidia looks like it wants to pull back to view up. I'm still uninterested in this market. We're going to pull back to this lower volume part here, I think, by the looks of it. And then the question is, does it protect it or not? Yeah, exactly, Tyson. Just walk it down and protect it, especially in days like this. Yeah, I'll let you jump. Cold, man. I don't feel 100% today, that's for sure. Right, still holding POC. Choppy, 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 choppy. Overall in the session today, we've been bullish. All right, walk up, walk up, walk up, walk up, 2 leg down, walk up, walk up, walk up, 2 leg down. Do they go walk up, walk up, walk up again, or do they fail deeper into this range? This is your value area low on the day right now. Range is tight, folks, all right? The initial balance is 104, but most of it has been traded within that. Right, most of the session's been here. You're not playing with a lot right now. Why haven't they? Because they don't want to. It's the simplest way to put it. Because they're not ready to. Because they don't have enough people trapped. Because they've got other games and ambitions to be played first. They don't have to do anything. Take care, Trini. New lower day VIX. VIX can trade to PDL if it wants. We're just stuck at POC. It's terrible. Not a location to be trading from here right now. Value on the session. The most volume traded on the day is right where we are now. Both sides. That means the most sells and the most buys have taken place right here where we are at the moment. Oh. And we are still. You can see the patience it requires, man. We're just still right now. No, exactly, Gatling. No easy money today. I think if you were swing long from Friday, or maybe even if you traded Asia London, probably those dips in the Asia London session have been the easy money. If we just zoom out here, right? If they were playing versus this, if your risk was sort of down here on this volume, you can see thin liquidity. I'd say long from here, trying to sell into this, that makes sense, right? Because dump 1, 2, they're trying to play this long. We haven't taken this out and failed for a sell. We haven't taken this out and trapped underneath for a buy. We haven't taken out and had continuation for a sell. We haven't taken this out and held for a buy. So all that you're able to do so far today really is buy high, hoping to go higher. That's not a trade that I like. This didn't even fully retest. This was, though, of the H1, a decent pullback, but, very high risk, I'd say. How do you pin the volume profile to the right? It's VRVP. I just have to make sure I'm only seeing 930. So it's not quite as accurate, but as long as I'm zoomed in enough, it should be showing me pretty much the same. There you go. So it's pretty good. It's actually spot on right now. But it will move based on the candles on your screen. So if I zoom out, it's going to show me, volume traded from down below, you see? So it's going to change. So it's important if you're going to use VRVP that you are looking from sort of 930 only, because it will give you whatever candles are on your screen is what it's going to show you the volume for. What time frame do I suggest running Trend Friend on? Totally up to you, mate. Totally up to you. 5 is nice if you want to sit in trades. Probably 2 is good if you're scalping. I wouldn't really go too much below that. Right, ES looks like it's going to take out higher day here, retesting those 515s. We still have that liquidity up above in the market. Here's your 2-leg and a trade into the IB. So it's decision point here, like we talked about. Here's your 2-leg. If they hold this, we take out those 902s. If they fail, shove here and trap above this, we come much deeper. But right now, sentiment is bullish. What I don't like is what Nvidia's doing. It's just stuck between 30s and 78s. It hasn't retested VWAP, and it hasn't broke out of 50s. It's in no man's land. And if you're like, why does he care so much about that stock? Because it's setting the precedent for the rest of the market at the moment. It is broken down and left volume trapped at the highs. ES new high day there. Yeah, trend friend. What's this on a 2 at the moment? I mean, pre-market is signaled the buy for you. Really not offered a 200 pullback, but then break back above here, inside bar here, inside bar here. Looks pretty good. Into a 5 minute. Oh. I mean, 5 minute pullbacks to this were pretty good. Waiting to see if it does this at the moment. Yeah, very tricky, Tyson. Didn't want to fade down. It might still do it. It's like I said, I'm not in anything here today. I can show you folks, like you can see how little profit I'm in. A whole buck, like I said, took a break even. That is it. That is me today. There's nothing here that I'm looking at thinking, yes, I want to trade this. Right? Not every day is the same. Last week was good. Monday so far today is not good, but that's okay because what do we know? We know that once we have enough traders trapped, and it might take all of Monday, it might take Tuesday as well, we'll have to see. But once we've got one side significantly trapped, we will be able to use their pain to go somewhere else. It's still dripping down. Still got those levels above. Those sellers are still up there. 85, 90, 900, 905. They're still there. They want to get filled. It's just whether the market's going to fill them. VIX still dripping, low of day. Might come for PDL here. Does this market find a bid? Do we trigger a squeeze here? At what point has it had enough? Right at that initial balance. So we've traded from 2-leg, reclaimed, and we got stuck here again. So we need a push, pull, and a hold if we're going to have a continuation up into this. We're running out of room though. The range is not very big. I feel great knowing that you feel this way about the charts because I saw 2 people take profits and jump off and was like, damn, am I missing something? It just depends on your setup. I mean, remember, people might have traded the open. You know, maybe there was some form of 30-second or 1 minute opening range trade down here. I don't know. Like, everyone has a different setup. Some people might have been trading from pre-market. Some people might have been in swings. So just because people are jumping off, don't let it affect you whether they've made profit or not. Remember, your job is to trade your setup and your process. Money is irrelevant. It's totally irrelevant. All right, ES failing those just above those 15s again. You can see this deeper pullback coming again. So initial balance holding. Like I said, you might get this trade, Tyson. It's dangerous. Like how they're setting it up is dangerous. If they do this move, maybe, but shorts can get trapped under here at this point. It's not an easy session. Remember, this is the main range for the day. That's it. 60 points, if that. Not a lot to play with. It's okay to be flat, folks. Just know, like, trading is not about making money on every day and every single candle that you see. You've just got to take your setups when they're there, not someone else's, not guessing, nothing else, just your setups if and when they set up. I'll tell you what, though, SPY is rejecting in front of those 50s, and I did have liquidity drawn out right to this 80 level, 49.80, where it's rejected so far this morning. So we'll have to see. But it's bullish overall, like 5-minute trend SPY bullish, same on ES, but it's getting tricky. You're getting some compression start to sort of form here on Nvidia as well. You can see we're going from POC to IB, POC to IB, and we've been doing that now since this candle here, 1050, right? Under, over, under, over, under, over. It should want to squeeze higher, but if it hasn't got enough shorts in it, it's not going to be able to squeeze higher because it's going to need their stops to do it. And you're not fully in sync here right now. Okay, VWAP coming up here now. ES coming back down to its initial balance. Liquidity here at 50. This is a big level. This is either a trap or a let go level down to VWAP, like we talked about. We're thin in here. Here's the 50s. Do they trap and save this and go to the highs if they trap enough bears down here, or do they let this go now and just wash aggressively? Nvidia VWAP, folks. Nvidia now VWAP. Important if it finds a bid here or not. If it finds a bid here, it can produce its first higher low since that morning dip at 10 o'clock, right at VWAP. So this is an important level. If they sell through this, NQ is going to struggle and we will start selling aggressively through the 50s. Remember, we're thin in here. Here's VWAP. So Tyson, if you retook that again, you look good. Make sure you're paying yourself a little bit. I'd say if we fail here aggressively, we can get pretty weak. It's almost at its initial balance. It's at low volume already, running a bid in front of initial balance. This is the big level because this is a potential trap level. So what they do here is important. Do they sell this now or do they reclaim? Is this a bigger two-leg and a reclaim? If you retook that, Tyson, you look good. It didn't play out the first time, it did the second. And you're in a sell here. Here's TP1, here's TP2, here's TP3, and then runners beneath. Remember, value right now down here. Yeah, Trump's still speaking, but is he still talking about religious stuff? It shouldn't really affect the market if he's still talking like that. Right, ES almost to its initial balance. We have just tagged VWAP, so if you took that IB to VWAP, make sure you're paying yourself. Yeah, lovely, Tyson. Great work. I was hoping you would have done that. Lovely, lovely work. That's probably smoothest play of the day, that. Back down again. All right, here's the battle. Nvidia battle VWAP is right here. So it traded under, it's trading back over. Do they find a bid here or not? That liquidity gone above? No, they're still there. They're still there. ES defending its initial balance high at the moment, Trading above it for now. VIX finding a bid. Let's see if VIX, how it acts at PDC. 1520s will be key on VIX. Remember, we still got unfinished business above, so leaning short, you want to be careful. ES is above its VWAP. Everything's bullish on the ES. Nvidia's not taken out the VWAP yet. Still bidding around it. This can be a two-leg. If this reclaims anywhere up here, you got to be risk off. If you were short in this, if we start reclaiming these levels, you do not want to touch it because this can be, you know, same kind of thing as this here. All right, short stops now are versus these levels. If it reclaims this, then you get the 902s. All the time this is here, I'm slightly concerned about a short, so you got to be scalp mentality. If we push and fail this level here, protect this low volume, maybe they trade down towards here. Any reclaim, bullish. Again, we're in range rotation. That's why you've got to be willing to play both sides. You cannot be overly biased to one side right now. We are protecting that low volume for now that we talked about. This sort of drive out here. This is the key for sentiment, I would say. Bathroom break for me here. Be right back. All right. So bidding off this level, So this is still possible because we've got unfinished business. We'll have to see, as is this. They can still reject this and roll, but right now, a good little hold of that volume we just talked about. ES protecting its initial balance high. Lack of momentum here in the market, I'd say. Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But the main trend on the day has been upside, all right? The main trend has been upside. This is still possible to take this out. Oh, man. I got a feeling I'm coming down with something here. And still see that liquidity above me. It's sat there. They want to fill it. VIX testing lower day here. Oasis hangover. I didn't actually drink. I think it's just fatigue. It was a very good boy. Oh, be right back, folks. Sorry, folks, just saying goodbye to my wife. She's off on a business trip, which means tomorrow, folks, might be a shorter session. It means I'll have to walk Luna in the morning. Okay, the squeeze looks like it's potentially on here, doesn't it? Look at ES on a drive. The squeeze looks like it's on here. Here's initial balance. If they reclaim this and base above, then those 902s look fairly ripe. They look fairly ripe to be taken. So we held this volume, we held VWAP. If we reclaim this, here's the VWAP to IB. So an IB to VWAP, VWAP to IB, reclaim this. This level up here is still a low-hanging fruit to be taken. It's a big battle. Right? This is what they would like to take out because we can make bigger decisions once we take this liquidity. Here is value area high on the session though. So if you're in this long from here or sort of a reclaim or you're waiting for this, this is TP1 and then your runners above that. Looks good at this point. You just want to see them pop through 880s here. Has ES made a new high yet? No, equal highs, I think. Has it got the juice? Has it got the juice? Just trying. It is trying. That little trap level there that we talked about into volume or low volume. This is what they want to do. You've got to be respectful of this. SPY as well. 650 is going to be massive on SPY. You would think that there's a bit of a wall up there. Just on the whole number. New lower day on the VIX. We should be bidding up here, really. 15's on the VIX key. What's the time? We've got 30 minutes left until lunch, if they want to do it. Somewhat surprising they don't just have, you know, just one quick shove and take everyone out and then give us a trade, but maybe they do it later. I don't know. Still think we'd go and take these out, though. Here we go. Come on. Let's just see a little bit of follow through. I want to see this volume pick up. 880 key, 880, 881, somewhere around that. That's key. That would be the shorts getting triggered out. And then we should take out 888 and then all the way up. Come on, market. So much faffing today. No follow through. Okay, ES not taking it as high, back down into low volume. Does it find a bid here and drag the market up? Nvidia starting to find a bid, reclaiming 170s off that VWAP touch on Nvidia. NQ lagging a little bit behind here, not willing to make a new high. It needs to take out this pivot here. 880 or 882 stop run should get us to 887, and that should get us to those 902s. Come on. Here's the 79.50s. Here's the 80s. Here's the stop run. All right, now let's squeeze, please. Here we go. Thank you. Finally getting a little piece of this. Come on, just go and take out the highs. Fucking around, man. It's really not that hard. It's not even much liquidity here. Take these guys out and go and do it. If you can't do this, then this afternoon session is going to be terrible. You have to come and take this out for me to be any interest of the afternoon. My gosh, what a lackluster performance. Someone needs to give NQ a Viagra today. It spent all night shagging in Asia and London, and it's limp this morning. It's got nothing left. Oh my god. Come on, man. Nvidia looks good. Nvidia's going to do it. NQ now doing the opposite. Oh, don't stop me out here on my runs. All right, well, locking some in there. I'll consider a re-add if it firms up here. So locked in a whole measly $100 there because it's not willing to do the move. Yeah, sorry guys. I thought it was a good analogy. Seems about right. This is the goal. This is what he wants. This is limp. Look at ES. Nice. Strong. Had a little bit of rest there. A new Viagra. Oh, strong. All right. Just needs to trade through this volume. This thin volume now. Still looks all right here. Just having to be in scout mentality given how we're acting. Man, they're not strong enough to get up there. They're not strong enough to trade through tiny lots. Let me pull this down. There's nothing going on. It should really, I'd be looking for this to just swipe all this out and then we can make a decision on a failed breakout. So I guess that's almost the better way to put it. If you don't want to trade this, that's fine. But you kind of need to wait for 902s to get taken out to make the next decision. Okay, my guy's looking at this indicator for me for Ninja, see if we can get it fixed. Okay. ES looking a little bit toppy here, but still protecting IB. It is looking toppy though. All right, if we rebase here, it's still possible, but this is... I would have liked, once we took this, this level here, I would have liked to just seen this accelerate hard. All right, so I was in for this move, took some partials, and back out break even again on the runners. So I was really hoping we'd get up into that. We're just trapped between what? Between IB and VWAP, between volume. Right, this is most of the volume on the day created up here at this point. Zoom this out a bit, but it's still the same. Most of the volume in here. So lots of ranges being rotated in. I'm actually going to clean this up a bit. Let me just... Oh! If you're flat or break even like me today, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. This is not a good trading session, folks. This is not like your prime, easy trading session. Do not stress about it. There will be better sessions this week, I assure you. Inside weekly range, inside daily range, not sweeping levels. These do not equal good sessions. Okay, just be okay, just chilling. Yeah, it's like, it's not like terrible. It's just not setting up something prime. You know, you could argue, in here there was low volume. See this node here? This node here? You could argue that this was going to get defended off this push, which we talked about, this node sort of here being key. So maybe there was a long back through here. I joined a bit later once I felt that buyers were coming in, but it's failed that high again. So lack of buying continuation at the highs. Again, it's not really surprising given the news that we had last week, is it? But like, they've done their main job. Their main job was to reclaim 720s. They did that last night. This is the problem with this session. All right. If anyone that read the newsletter, right, 720s was key. Why? NFP low. All right. This right here, look at this level here. Funnily enough, it became the overnight low. All right. Their main job, if they reclaim 720s, where do they want to go? They want to rotate up. But we missed the boat because that buy was in Asia and London. So the train's left the station, all right? We open up, we're up, I don't know, almost 100 points higher, not really wanting to bid up there, and we're into supply. Now, I've refined supply because we've moved through it. But you can see this is where the buyers got stuck on Friday that we sold off from. We're starting to let those buyers out. If we let them fully out and we take the sellers stops out, then what happens? We squeeze through these levels here. These is resting liquidity. The trouble is at the moment is that we did not get this set up down here. We haven't seen a retest of this. We definitely haven't seen a retest of this low, which would be the nicest way to bid up if we're going to bid up. We're not pro trend short because we're not under the 500s for the slap back down to 23k and below, and we're not trend long because we're not above this basing for the squeeze. So it's, it has to build out liquidity. It has to build out liquidity, folks, because we built liquidity out here. Anyone short in here is now stopped. Then we pull back and held that level. So anyone short in here is now stopped. But this is the big question. So it's moving, correctly for what it needs to do, which is to build out new levels. What we have to be aware of is the ES. While we've had strength in this session, if we just zoom out, right, we haven't even attempted up here. We're not even anywhere near to that level. Is that the edge of the shelf? That the shelf breakdown? Not really. I'm going to get rid of you. Don't really care about you. And we're probably still in a golden pocket, I would say, on ES. Let's have a little look. Yeah. Right in this golden pocket. Right, so ES right now is trying to protect this volume. If it can protect this volume, it's basing over. It still has that. If it lets go of this volume, then it has this volume to protect. And if it lets go of that, then it's night-night and we're coming back down to here. So everything to play for both sides. You've got to be flexible, right? Be flexible with how we're trading this today. And for all sessions in the future, unless you're in an outside scenario, you have to be flexible. Because if we just think about this, when we're moving like this, right, all we want to do is either be a dip buyer or add into strength here, or be a retest buyer on the dip and add into strength, right? These would be outside bars, wouldn't they? If this is one bar, that would be the high, that would be the low, maybe that's the close. This then becomes outside. Okay, we're long. When those don't work, all right, is if we're going, let's say this is one bar, all right, that's a daily bar, for example. Okay, it would look like that. If the next bar does this and fails to break, all right, what does this bar then look like on the daily? It has a big wick. We opened up here and we closed down. That would be a red bar, for example. So this would be green, red, there's your transition. That's why this is sell side pressure. At the moment, all we have, right, is a daily bar. Like this. And the next bar we have at the moment, remember it's not closed, is like this. It's inside. We're not outside of this yet. So we haven't triggered any daily stops. All right. So we're not outside. So we don't have a failed breakout and we don't have a breakout. All we have is an algo bid up to this level. And if we think about that on ES, the bar on ES is actually just here. It's nowhere near. It's at 70%. All right, so it's still a shortable range, which is why when we're inside this, it's not a great trend location. You have to be flexible for see money, take money. Hopefully, that for those of you new turning up, maybe that will help you a little bit understand when to play bigger size and when not to. Alex, can you teach me how do you manage your break even? You entered IBH and instantly put. I was actually in before IBH. Once I saw this volume here, stepping in here, I was in and I actually took profit on that stop, right? On that push above that stop in case it failed, all right? And then my break even is like down here. So once it fell back down to here, then I took it out. Because I'm not willing to hold when this is all supply, right? Because if they want to be really nasty, right? Imagine they build all this out. They don't come and take this objective and then they do this candle here. They can do that. I'm not willing to give it too much room. You're starting to see that now. Nvidia back down to view up again. We're 15 minutes out from lunch. Yeah, I'm aggressive with I'm really aggressive stops in range rotation. Like if I'd taken, let's say this failed and I've taken IB sells, my stop's here. Now we're under point of control. My stop's break even. I don't want this to come back up here because then it's trapped here to come back up again. It's very, like, you've got to be aggressive taking money in with stops in market conditions like this. Look at ES, massive fail here, all the way back down to its VWAPs. Nvidia failing now. Now we're back down into that same volume imbalance we just talked about recently, right down here. This is where we found the last bid off. Now the selling starting. VIX finding a bid through PDC. If pops start to fail here, the market will be in trouble. We're into the chop zone that ES formed since the 9:30 print here this morning. This is what I was talking about. Imagine you just got killed in that. Like, it's painful. Still unfinished business above, remember, as well, just to make it extra tricky. So a failed breakout above IB, tapped supply, didn't complete his business at 902. Probably encourage buyers to come in right at these highs, and they've just got washed on. I'm actually going to draw this other one because this is starting to annoy me because I can't see it properly. Yeah. Nvidia very weak here, folks. This is what I was talking about. This is why the market is starting to sell, because Nvidia has just got slammed. Look at this continuation now. That's all because Nvidia struggled. Pivot on Nvidia, 69.20 down to 69.04. Breakdown under that. Big trouble, Nvidia. You want to see if pops up here start to fail or if they reclaim. Remember, we've just gone to the edge of value. This is value area low. This is where buyers will try and bid in. If we push and fail, though, a rotation back down here is not completely out of the day. But one thing to note is ES. Okay, ES structure this morning was like this and then break out, and we're currently trading back to ES's structure. Right, here's your structure, breakout. We're trading back to structure. Right, ES can easily find a bid in here. If we trade underneath this, good night. So we've spent all morning trapping volume. What I hate that we've left that. I absolutely hate that we've left that, but just going to acknowledge it. Value holding for now. So point of origin for that last move, value of that holding for now. Took the short heavy this time, flagged near the 70s. That was massive. Out now. IB pays again, baby. There you go, Tyson. Beautiful. It's Tyson's only trade. It's the only trade he's allowed to do. He's got very good at it. Where's my water? This might sell down. We're into that big old imbalance. This might sell down. If we start flipping this, they start rejecting 50s and then trading under 30s, they might be in trouble. Today was fun. If every day was like this, I would enjoy trading more in Q. Oh, really? I mean, I'd say this is not a particularly fun day on NQ, but maybe you like range rotation. Each to their own. Okay, so back to 50s like we just talked about. ES finding a bid so far on its VWAP. Spiders the same. How they react into that initial balance and low volume now will be absolutely key. If they sell this low volume and initial balance on the spiders, we should get a retest of the low that we just put in. And if they reclaim that, then then maybe they just trade straight through to highs. But really, you would expect ES to try and reject 509s, at least have a wiggle. But let's see. Nvidia trading back up towards its VWAP now as well. I mean, this is just getting ridiculous. Remember, we do have unfinished business above. Here's the low volume node on ES, right? Decision time for ES. Do they sell back down here? Rejection coming on ES to start this. Not a kill though. Just like a little bit of a wiggle there. I hate that they've got unfinished business up here, man. The thought of shorting this is a little bit scary. Knowing that they've just held value. Oh, this thing's pissing me off. Can you just... I wish we could draw volume the other way so I could have it fixed. All right, decision point ES, we're starting to see it. It needs to make its decision here. If it rejects here and we get a bear flag here on NQ, you can get a deeper breakdown. Those VWAPs are just sideways right now, so they're non-directional. NVIDIA back to VWAP, see if it rejects that as well. Same kind of thing. If it rejects VWAP, we probably retest this pivot low. If we break this pivot low, shorts get their day, we trade down to next VWAP. And then if we really break down, and we've got New York Open and IB. But remember, MAG is green. All right, the MAG is green. If ES trades through this low volume, you want to watch out because this is just going to rip if they do that, if they're really nasty with it. We have unfinished business above. You've got to remember that. There is unfinished business above. Here it goes, going through that volume. Mate, they are playing absolute games in this session. Untradeable if they're going to do this. What is this bollocks? No detail in here. Let me do this. Mate. Back to highs, very possible here. NVIDIA VWAP. Back to highs, possible here. If they let ES reclaim these levels and NVIDIA 3 VWAP, we have unfinished business above. They can be really, really, really gross because we did not trade underneath the 30s. We said the 30s is the key. Point of origin for this move. They held value. Now they've gone straight back up without a pullback. Oh, gosh. You gotta laugh. Watching NVIDIA. Mate, this is lame. Who was it said that this is a really good day? I can't believe that you enjoy this, but fair enough. As long as you made money, it's all that matters. Yeah, exactly, Coop. 200 from passing eval. Turn it off for the day. Yeah, nice. Well done, Tyson. But yeah, we talked about the ES pulled back into the range it created this morning. That's all that was. That's what we talked about, Mike. That pullback, if you look at the chop range this morning, we went over it. We built liquidity very differently. NQ built liquidity in a horrible way. ES built liquidity with a big bull flag to break out, which it just pulled back to. Very, very, very different. The look of NQ is not nice compared to ES. Wrong chart. All right, this is a very different looking market. This is a buying continuation pattern to break out to retest. NQ is not a buying continuation pattern. All right, this was not buying continuation. This was chop squeeze, which has already been retested once. So it's not even a fresh level. This is just manipulation and squeeze. That's all this is. Very different markets. And again, like I said, thinking about the short here, very hard to short when we've got unfinished business at highs and the mag are green. It is literally like close your eyes and buy kind of market at the moment, which is mental given where we are in the market and what we had happen on Friday. But that's been the market since March this year, is we ignore all news and we bid up. We ignore all news and we bid up. It's just how it is. It's great for swing players. Are they going to take out this level into lunch? They waited all this time and then go and lunch and just go, oh yeah, we'll take that. Thanks very much. Still liquidity up there. You can see it. It's still up there wanting to be taken. I don't think this is, for me, NQ's tradable unless it takes out some of these key levels. I don't think there's anything setting up this afternoon. I don't think I'm even going to come back. That needs to be traded through for me to be interested, or this needs to be traded through for me to be interested. Everything in here is bullshit, basically. This is all bollocks. There we go. More chop and slop. This is fun. ES going to trade back down to its IBH. Does it hold its IBH? Oh man, like I'm telling you, back in the day, that probably would have been me getting trapped before I had a system to understand this. Now I can just laugh and just think, no. Like the reaction down here off 30, we literally talked about 30, and this is the edge. Even if you're not using volume, all right, even if you're not using volume and you went to a 5, think about this candle here where we broke out from. All right, if you're an ICT trader, that is about as spot on as you want, right? That's your under over. Did we trade under and get stuck? Did we close under? No, we traded 2 and found a bid. And here's your IB. So we can't bid over IB, so we're in range rotation. We're not bullish. Bullish technically would be above IB. What's the problem? 902's hanging there. And we're not technically bearish until we break down. VWAPs are starting to go sideways, but we haven't had a big breakdown on like a 5-minute or a 15-minute or an hourly. And that hourly, all we've done on the last few hours is reprice bid, reprice bid, reprice bid. So very, very tricky to think about anything with size. Back down to that same level. 50s to 30s, 50s to 30s, 50s to 30s. That's all it's doing at the moment. ES to its IB high and its initial balance. Honestly, folks, there's genuinely, I've never been as disinterested and calm on stream as this before. Just no interest. That should be telling you. Unless you're a range trader, like I am unwilling. This is not resistance, by the way. This is low volume. This is all you've got to play with. That to that. Short that, long that is the play at the moment. That's not how I play. Look at the flow zones. View up. Everything's starting to get tight. Not for me. We will have better days this week. Definitely. Definitely better days to come this week. Let's just have a little look what we've got coming. Tomorrow, nothing. Okay, another terrible day tomorrow expected. We do have the Apple event tomorrow. That's why my wife has gone for the night. And then Wednesday, core PPI. Maybe we get a move at 8:30. Thursday, way more important, CPI. We will move on Thursday. CPI and jobless claims. That is going to be the move. Back end of the week. Thursday it's going to happen. But we'll get a wiggle on Wednesday. Thursday we're going to get a big move. Friday consumer sentiment. So maybe continuation. You call this chopped liver market, lost pennies. Yeah, pretty much. Do you know what? You lot have been pretty patient today. Should we do a giveaway? Because there's been nothing. We haven't really had much of a trade. Maybe we'll do a giveaway. We can vote for it in chat. We'll do a vote in chat. So, for what you want, let's get it up. So I will give away. Okay, you let me know what we want. We'll do a giveaway. Okay, yes, still into that low vol. Nvidia looks dangerous, man. Looks dangerous. All right, you vote on that little giveaway for the next few minutes, and then we'll do it once you guys decide what you want. Give you a couple minutes to vote. Yeah, Silent, tough day. But you know that this one would have paid you, and this one would have paid you, and this one would have paid you. This one wouldn't. ES back to VWAP, back to that same level. Nvidia about to come back down to VWAP as well. Want to be careful on Nvidia how it's built out this morning. It's probably trading at about 50% of its range. Well, not even that far actually down. VIX finding a little bid. What's this level here? Is that matching up? Nope. Okay, back to New York VWAP, finding a bid. And this is terrible. We're into lunch though. I wouldn't even trade this now. And we were low volume before. If they do some nasty move in lunch, it's a joke, mate, after what they've done this morning. Would it surprise me? No. Wouldn't surprise me. Normally, I'd be thinking ES will roll over and pull the market down because of how it's left the low volume. But because Nvidia is building out potential squeeze pattern, and because we have not taken out this high, it's very hard to think about a short. Very hard. These 50s key again. This block here. All right, let's end this poll. See what you all want. You all want a free Apex. Lovely. Okay, let's do that then. Yes, back to view up again. We're at view up again as well. I'm just setting up this free account for you guys. Okay, all you got to do, lowercase, type in chat. Only type it once, please. Apex. That's all you've got to do. Type Apex in chat. We will sort you out. I'll give you guys 2 minutes to do that. We are just trading back into this low volume node. These 50s to 30s. Remember this grey box? That was low volume earlier in the session. Is this extending? Yeah, good. Right, if we take out these lows and start to sell, there's potentially a bigger sell in the market. But at the moment, it's very hard to think about this market doing that. But if, like I said, ES looks more likely to do it at this point. VIX has found a bid. Bid is trading sideways. SPY's under its view up, trading into lower time frame algo at the moment. We're just trading into that low volume node, but this is the second time reapproaching it. We have got low hanging fruit above. It's very, very risky to be thinking about shorts when we've left low hanging fruit above the way we have. What a shite market. Why bother waking up for this? I wish I had like some indicator on my phone in the morning that said, go back to sleep. Don't waste your breath. You're tired. This will be a waste of time. All right, give you guys 30 more seconds. Apex in chat for the chance to win a free account. ES bidding off that view up again. And Nvidia looks bullish here. The way it's building this pattern out looks kind of bullish, kind of dangerous. All right, let's pull a winner. Let's pull a winner. Where's that page gone? Okay, the winner is the Daily Tail. The Daily Tail. Make sure, just let me know that you're in chat, the Daily Tail, and then shoot me an email, info@flowzonetrader.com. Just send me a screenshot of the back end of your YouTube so I know it's you, and I'll sort you out a code. There you go. Well, you've won one now. Any size account that you want, any type of account on Apex. All right, ES is at its VWAP. It's got low volume at 09s and 10s, which is its IB. If it rejects that, it should trade lower. Like earlier, if it reclaims it, then I'd be cautious. Nvidia looks like it wants to break out to the upside. So for me, the alignment is, well, it's terrible. It's terrible. I'd like to see this get hammered down. There's the rejection on ES trading into that low volume. It didn't even make it. So do we trade next leg down into view up and then down here? Remember, we've got this level here is key, 30 for sentiment on the day, I would say currently. Worst thing about thinking about short today is that we have low hanging fruit above the high of day. That is not what you want to see. You like liquidity to be taken first. We're into lunch, so probably shouldn't be trading this at all. Shouldn't really be thinking about anything. Raf, it only counts it once anyway. It doesn't matter if he put it more times, it will only count it once. Why is he still writing that? Yeah, that's what I thought, Tyson, but it's amazing. Daily Tail, if you put another Apex in, you're not going to win. I tell you to put it lowercase, yeah, because if you do all caps, then the Nightbot will kick you out. The first capital letter won't make a difference, but if you do all caps, Nightbox will kick you out. Daily Tail, I'm going to tell you now, one more spam and you're gone. All right, ES still at VWAP. I'm just watching this. I'm interested to see if we break down under this VWAP towards 30s and how we act when we get there. But shall we re-roll then? Is he gone? Daily Tail, make yourself known. Either you're here or you were just spamming like a bot. Are you here? Write a normal message if you're here. Otherwise, we're going to re-roll. Here's 40s. Are they going to break down under 30s now? They do this move. Okay, no worries, Coop. Nice work. All right, ESV what? Do they protect this low or do we break down under it and start hammering? Oh, mate. Awful. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. If he doesn't email me, then we'll do 2 giveaways this week. And we'll do maybe 3 giveaways this week. We'll do a double roll one day. Oh, man. We're coming for those 30s. We're coming for balance on the session, which is here. If buyers hold this, then we rotate. If they let go of that, then I'd be concerned about this move back down here. But what a market. If you traded edges, you did well today. There's your breakdown. Here's 30s coming. Here's 30s. You're only just short of that wick. There's your over under this level. This is where the origin of this range started. This squeeze and this. So they can hold this. So we're starting to fail now. Here's your VWAP. Anyone that's still in this, here's your second VWAP. You should be taking a partial into this. Rejection of 30 might allow for a lower move at these 800s and then IB low. Obviously, if we reject this, we come right down to IB low. But this is where all the volume on today's session has been created. So you'd need to see a rejection of that to trade lower. Otherwise, this is what happens, what you're trying to see now. A failed breakdown under volume, and they bid it back up. So it's a value rotation day. Nice, Coop. Nice. So you got 45 to 30. It's not bad. You might even get more of a breakdown if you get lucky. If they reject value. All right, folks, I'm done. Nothing for me to do here. Basically a flat day. Nothing happened. Back tomorrow. I'll do my best to be here on time in the morning, and hopefully if Luna doesn't give me a hard time, I won't have to leave early, but we'll see, because I'm solo tomorrow. Flat day. Not really surprising that we had a flat day when you think about this is what the actions look like. I mean, there's not a whole lot there to do other than fade this, which is very risky with this here, like we talk about. So, yeah, Tyson, it has. Range rotation day, it's always more likely to play out. Yeah, back tomorrow, folks. Those in Discord are set price alerts, but I'm honestly, unless we take out some key levels, I'm concerned, especially if we think about like a H1 right now. You know, we might be setting up to hold this to then take that to then make a decision of taking these or failures in the week. So like we said, weekly model Wednesday PPI, Thursday CPI would be the big catalyst. Isn't it normally CPI then PPI? Why have they done it the other way around? Bizarre. Was that just me? All right. Thank you. No trades in my TPT. Only testing stuff on sim. All good. Will be more opportunity later this week. Yeah, exactly. Plenty more to come this week. All right, folks. Peace and love. Trade safe. Be kind to each other. Use hard stops. Don't oversize. Don't start getting frustrated because the market's slow. Just wait for it to develop. A really nice setup, and we can take that setup. Hopefully, that comes maybe tomorrow, but I think more likely is going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week, just based on the news events. But let's see. All right. Be safe.